Hey boys, good morning. How are you? How is your family? Remember that we are learning about music, and music is about everything. I love music, and I know that many of you love music too. So, today we're going to learn something that is very important, and it's grammar. And we're going to learn present perfect. Wow, this is a little bit more complicated than learning present simple or past simple. This is present perfect, okay? So stay focused, pay attention, and don't blink. But what is present perfect? Can you tell me? Well, my friend Mickey Mouse, I know that you know the answer, but present perfect is a grammatical combination of the present tense and perfect aspect that is used to express a past event that has present consequences. Donald, please relax. I know that all this explanation was a little bit difficult, but pay attention, okay? Be patient with me, please. Okay, yes, I know that the explanation was terrible. Was difficult to understand, but pay attention a moment. Present perfect is an action that began in the past but continues in the present. For example, in the past, I was in the kitchen, but maybe I am still in the kitchen. So I am going to say, I have been in the kitchen for many hours. Or I have been in the kitchen for 2 or 3 hours. It means that 2 hours ago I was in the kitchen and now I'm still in the kitchen. Do you understand? Or I can say, I have been in this office for a long time. Now I'm going to explain a little bit the use of the have, the been, and other types of verbs. But before that, I want you to go back when we started learning about past simple. Do you remember that many teachers have explained a little bit about regular and irregular verbs? Well, yes, regular and irregular verbs are going to help us a lot to understand present perfect. But do you remember the difference between regular and irregular verbs? Well, now in this part you can see that we have a regular verb list. Okay, so in this part, for example, in the first verb we have the word ask. So the past is asked. Participle asked. In Spanish is preguntar. Okay, we have the word close, closed, closed, cerrar. So can you tell me, why are these verbs called regular verbs? They are regular verbs because all these words end with ed at the end of the verb. Ask and we add an ed. Close and we add an ed at the end of the verb. Okay, so this is not that complicated, boys. I know that most of you will get it, and I know that many of you remember this because this was you learned this last year in 4th. Okay, remember they are regular verbs because we add an ed at the end of the verb. Okay, it's not that difficult, boys, come on. So now we're going to continue with irregular verbs. Can you guess why they are called irregular verbs? Well, they are called irregular verbs because the verbs changes completely. It's not like the regular verbs because we know that the regular verbs they end with ed at the end. but the irregular verbs change. So the only way that we're gonna learn them is by memory. Now I'm going to show you this irregular verbs list, okay? For example, if we go to the first one, the infinitive verb is be, past simple is was or were, and the past participle that we're gonna use is been, okay? And we have the other one, for example, bite, bit, bitten, or we have cat, 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 or we have do, did, done, we have eat, ate, eaten, we have feel, felt, felt. So we're gonna, in present perfect, we're going to use the green column, okay? I know that many of you are wondering about the have. Well, in present perfect, have is not like the verb tener, like I have a cat or I have a dog. No. In English, the have or has is like o hemos. For example, I have been. It means like yo he estado. In this sentence, for example, I have been in this town for 2 years. In Spanish could be yo he estado en este pueblo por 2 años. Ese e se refiere a have. Or, for example, in this sentence, have you ever played piano before? In Spanish could be ¿has tocado piano antes? Now I'm going to help you with a formula how to create sentences with present perfect, okay? Well, boys, this part is very important because we have or has plus the participle. This is the verb, okay? For example, I have, and the participle would be been. I have been in the kitchen. But what about has? Has is because I change the subject. It's when I change the subject. For example, she. She has been in the kitchen. She has been in the kitchen. Or she has danced for 2 hours. She has danced for 2 hours. Now, I want you to open your student's book and see the examples on the yellow box. Number 1. Have you ever listened to hip hop? Yes, I have. Have you ever danced to hip hop? No, I haven't. Have you ever been to a concert? No, I haven't. Has Lisa ever heard an orchestra perform? No, she has never heard an orchestra perform. So now you're going to read and complete the sentences. The first one is just an example. 1. This song is new. I have never heard it before. I have never heard it before. So you're going to complete 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And now, on next page, page 43, you're going to answer this question. What about you? Write questions. Okay? Number 1 says, go rock concert. So with these 3 words, or 2 words, you have to make a question. Have you ever been to a rock concert? So you have to create the other 7 questions. Now, boys, I want you to go to your workbook and you're going to work on page 29. Okay, this is all related with present perfect. When you finish, I want you to send to my email and Mr. Vladimir Godoy the What I Learned worksheet. Okay? This is all for today. See you on Thursday and bye bye. Regards to your family. See you soon.